Lighting the flames of faith is a call to service. We perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples, all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call spirit. Fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. We light the candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and the practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of compliance with the will of God as the highest calling. We light the candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the candle for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. And as practitioner Tony Sparks lights the last candle, please let it represent the path that brought you here today. I invite you to join with me in prayer. As we go within to the sacredness and the serenity of prayer, we do recognize that there is only one essence. For that essence is in this very room, and we are surrounded in the fragrance of God. This one is infinite love, lavish abundance, beauty everywhere, and creative intelligence. This one is the one that breathes us, holds us, and loves us. For all the qualities of God are activated within each one of us. We are the sacred activity of the beloved. We are the words, we are the action, we are the thoughts of spirit. And so this morning I affirm and I decree that all is well. That each one of us are seeing with the heart's eye this morning. We are listening with our spiritual ears to the message of Dr. Heather. We are inspired. We are lifted up to that place of perfect unity with the beloved. So we're alive, aware, and awake of this presence within all creation. And we are grateful for this knowing. And so I fill my heart with gratitude knowing the truth. And this truth sets us free to be the beautiful expressions of spirit that we are. And so I place it into divine mind, knowing that all this is already created right here, right now, in this moment. And I anchor this treatment, I anchor this prayer in love, in confidence, and in joy, as together we say, and so it is. And now, Dr. Heather Dawn Clark.
Good morning, and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Capistrano Valley, where every Sunday we discuss ideas that can be used as principles to transform your life. Ideas that when you use them for yourself, your life becomes richer, fuller, more abundant. So when your life becomes richer, fuller, more abundant, the world around you is richer, fuller, more abundant, and it becomes, therefore, a world that works for everyone. Welcome. I'm happy you chose to be here this morning, and welcome home. I'd like to introduce the people that will be with me or will be on the platform this morning. And so you've already met our wonderful my platform assistant, Reverend Judy Chapman. And she has someone that's helping her, but I don't know who that is. And Bonnie Arsman is going to be helping her. Bonnie. Our fabulous band and music director, choir director, Diane King-Van, the piano and keyboards. On guitar, Ed Cusby. On drums, David Page. And on bass, Bill Dixon. Our guest vocalist this morning is Michael Garamoni. We're so happy to have him back. And leading us in song this morning is Reverend Karen Allen. And we're going to start by singing together, so please stand. We're going to sing our first song for the morning.
But a song we sing, and fear's the way we die. You can make the mountains ring, or make the angels cry. Know the dove is on the wing, and you may not know why. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Together, time to love one another right now. Some may come and some may go, we will surely pass. When the one that left us here returns for us at last, we are but a moment's sunlight fading in the grass. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, time to love one another right now. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, time to love one another right now. If you hear this song I sing, you will understand. You hold the key to love and fear, all in your trembling hand. Just one key unlocks them both, it's there at your command. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, time to love one another right now. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, time to love one another right now. Right now, right now.
Give yourselves a hand. Sounding good. Greet the people around you, and then we'll declare our principles. don't make them. Judy. All right, and please be seated, and we're going to declare our principles together, which you'll see on the screens. Please join me. I believe in God, the one creative intelligence, operating through the universe and operating throughout my entire being, now and always. I believe this perfect spirit operates upon a law of mind and creates my experience exactly according to my belief. I believe this perfect creative intelligence can be used by me and by every other person to produce health, abundance, and love in mind, body, and total life experience. I use it now, and I rejoice in it, and so it is. Very good. I'd like to acknowledge those of you who are in service today or will be in are in service today or have been in service this last week. Would you please stand so we can give you a lot of love? A special subset are the practitioners trained in the art and science of affirmative prayer, and they're in service to us every day of every week, praying for our whole community and each one. You will find 3 of them available after service, 2 at the 2 stations at the back that say affirmative prayer, the 3rd one in the tranquility room. And then there's a 4th one that will be answering questions. So if those 4 would please stand so I know who you are. So we have Kathy Story holding the high watch. We have Tony Sparks. We have Doris Pallardy back from Germany. And we have Dr. Jeannie Hounshell, who's going to come forward, read our affirmation, and then we'll all read it together. Dr. Jeannie.
And so we know this truth. Every day I grow spiritually, whether from the glorious demonstrations or the disheartening challenges. I recognize my inner strength and peace expanding day by day, and I give thanks. And now it should be for us together. Every day I grow spiritually, whether from the glorious demonstrations or the disheartening challenges. I recognize my inner strength and peace expanding day to day, and I give thanks, and so it is.
This is the time that we get quiet, and we do so by beginning with a chant. The chant that we're chanting this month is Melissa Felipe's I Am Remembering. So we're going to get quiet, chant, and then I'll lead you in a very short meditation and some silence, ending with the same chant.
I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering
remembering who you are. Continue taking that attention to the sacred place of the Most High within you. Remembering who you are. Remembering that you were created in the image and likeness of the source of creation. Remembering you're made in the image and likeness of love itself. Remembering that you're made in the image of the one power, the only power. Remembering that this one is all-knowing, everywhere present, all power. And in this remembering, let your identity expand. Let your I am expand to include one or all of those qualities of the divine. And in the silence, just float the phrase, I am, with one of those qualities following it. I am love. I am power. I am first cause. In the silence for a few moments.
I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am.
And bringing that full awareness back with you, not just for the rest of this time together, but for the whole day. And coming fully back, because I know you're going to want to really be here for this, please help me welcome to the platform Michael Garamoni.
I have often dreamed of a far-off place where a hero's welcome would be waiting for me, where the crowds will cheer when they see my face, and a voice keeps saying, "This is where I'm meant to be. I'll be there someday. I can go the distance. I will find my way. If I can be strong, I know every mile will be worth my while. If I go the distance, I'll be right where I belong. Down an unknown road to embrace my fate, an And a voice keeps saying, this is where I'm meant to be. It might take a lifetime, but it's worth the wait. It might take a lifetime, but somehow I'll see it through, and I won't go back. I can go the distance. I will stay on track. No, I won't accept defeat. It's an uphill slope, but I won't lose hope till I go the distance and my journey is complete. But to see beyond the glory is the hardest part, for a hero's strength is measured by his heart. Like a shooting star, I can go the distance. I don't care how far. Somehow I'll be strong. I will stay on track. I can go the distance till I find myself and know I'm right where I belong. I know every mile will be worth my while till I go the distance and I'm right where I belong.
Wow. That was the sermon. That was the talk. It's such a great song, such a great choice. Thank you. Thank you. I'm done so very well, so very well. So today's message is setbacks are setups. The rest of the quote is setbacks are setups for comebacks. T.J. Jakes, evangelical New Thought minister, said that. So that's his quote that we're using. Setbacks are setups. For what? For comebacks. Not setups for failure, because we could go, oh yeah, I know it's a setup. And if we're living life from that place, that's exactly what we'll experience. But when we're living life from the place of knowing our oneness with Source, knowing that that one glorious power lives in us and can only express for us, through us, then our experience is one of really a comeback, There's a teaching story that I'd like to begin with, and it's a story about a master who had two students. And he took his students into the woods. There was a path, and he told them to run on this path until they got to the other end. He would meet them in 3 days at a certain place. So this path was really interesting because the one side of the path was completely cleared away. It was easy running. There was nothing, no obstacles. It was smooth and easy sailing. The other side of the path was filled with one obstacle after another. One student decided to do it the easy way. The other student decided to go through, around those obstacles. The student that took the easy path made it to the end very quickly. He wasn't winded. He'd had just a sort of a nice run, a nice walk. It was great, and he was very proud of himself that he had chosen the easy way and finished. The master would be pleased. The other one, hours later, finished, and he was winded, he was tired, he had worked hard, and he wasn't sure why he took the road less traveled, so to speak, the obstacle-filled course, but he did. They met their master the next day, and the master was standing in front of a ravine that was several yards across, very deep. And the master said to them, okay, jump. The one who had taken the easy road knew that he could not, and so he turned around and quit his journey. The one who had struggled knew he could, and he took a nice run and landed on the other side. So the story is simply for us to make choices that are for our highest and best good, to understand absolutely everything in our life is an opportunity to awaken to who we really are, to remember to use that one power by directing our minds and saying yes to everything that comes into our lives, no matter whether they appear to be setbacks or not. Most of our lives are spent with some sort of we have disappointments in life. And I was thinking about this and thinking that my very best example is old, so I beg your pardon, but it's the one that is the most vivid in my mind. About 15 and a half years ago, I knew I was in a small center in Bonita, California, so that's South San Diego County, and I kept getting in meditation the knowing that I was moving, and I could see this big center that I was moving to. My old church, the Calgary Center for Spiritual Living, became available. It was a huge, at one time, a huge center. When I left there were maybe 400 or 500 people on a Sunday, and I naturally thought that was mine. I naturally thought I was being called home. Now, you who've all heard this before know that my vision, when I'm really elderly, not just in my late 60s, when I'm really elderly, there are palm trees in it where I'm living. There's not one palm tree in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, as far as I know. If there are, they'd be fake, because they wouldn't survive in that kind of climate. But I was so sure, I was so certain that that divine mind within me was giving me this opportunity. I did my, what happens in our denomination when a minister leaves, there's usually a process of candidating, and Reverend Patty or someone recently talked about all the people that applied for Reverend Judy said, of all the people that applied for our center, I think there was something like 40 ministers that applied. It was a lot. And then they slimmed it down to 3, and I was one of the 3. In Calgary, they slimmed it down to 5. And my husband at the time, his former business had been human resources and HR, and he said, well, you've got the worst spot, but do a great job, and it won't matter that you have the worst spot. I had 2nd out of 5. He said, logistically, they won't remember what you did because it's so far away. But they had a plan for that. Their plan was they were going to videotape each one, not only the talk, but the workshop. And I did a really good job. So I thought, well, trust the process. I know it's mine because I kept getting this. I'm moving. I have to prepare my people because I'm not going to be here. I'm going to be in a larger center. Well, as you know, I didn't get it. And I was shocked, and my faith was shaken because I was so certain that it wasn't ego, it was an inner idea that had come to me through the process that we teach, meditation and prayer. So I did what I hope you do when you have something that shakes your faith. I took some time to go into deep, silent meditation. A friend of mine was a member of Self-Realization Fellowship, and so I got 3 days there, and then I got another 4 days at a silent retreat in the desert. So I had about 7 days of silence and getting to be okay with what was. That's the first step. And I made a big decision. It's like, okay, if I'm not supposed to move, then I just have to do a really good job here. That's all. I came to that. So you see in consciousness where I've gone from. I've gone from, it's awful, it sucks, this principle doesn't work, there really isn't a God. I mean, I've really been down in this place of there can't be because it's not responding, and I've been fooled. I've just been foolish and fooled, to walking through, of course, there's this presence, and maybe I haven't seen it all, and maybe the big place is supposed to be here, and I'm supposed to grow it. And I came back from that place in a different state of consciousness from which I went. And the first thing I saw was our former minister's letter of resignation, announcing to the whole field that she was going to be leaving and that people were applying. I had no intention of, I wasn't looking. I thought I was being called to Calgary. I wasn't. I was being called to San Juan Capistrano. And as soon as I saw Dr. Jackie's letter, I knew that was the reason. And my faith was restored. And then it just unfolded as it was supposed to. So I tell you that because I know some of you right now are going through some very disappointing times. And this is the time. This, right now, is the time for you to put on that mantle of faith. Not the faith in God. That won't do you as much good as the faith of God, which means that you know how life works, that everything in our experience comes from our own consciousness, our perception of it. So you can just think about the things that have happened in your life. And some things you've judged as good or bad, and turned out that it was the opposite. Turned out to be, that lost love turns out to be the very best thing that ever happened. That diagnosis turns out to be the call to action to treat your body better. That lost job is an opening for the right and perfect job to come into being. So, setbacks. When you have a setback, first of all, there's nothing in this teaching calls for us to pretend or to say it isn't so. The first thing is we do need to accept what is. Second, determined to see it as something else. Determined to see it as a setup for something greater. Determined to see it as a calling for you to have an even greater vision. In the meditation that I did before service, I invited people to journey along a path and see a big obstacle on the road and climb on top of the obstacle. Climb up on the obstacle. Really get the obstacle under you and look from that point of view. What can you see? You know, when you're looking through God's eyes, you can only see good. You can never see harm or discouragement or disappointment or sadness, sickness. You can only see good. Now, if you're experiencing a setback, you're not alone. There have been many, many greats who've experienced setbacks. I come from Saskatchewan, but I spent 15 years in Edmonton, Alberta. And Edmonton was the place that gave Wayne Gretzky his start in the Oilers. And when Wayne Gretzky started to play professional hockey, here's what was written about him. He's too small and too slow. He'll never make it in this game. Love to be that writer, right? Too small and too slow. We can't make it. Well, he turned out to be one of the greatest hockey players ever. So you're not alone. But here's the thing about setbacks being set-ups. If you stay flattened by the setback, if you don't get up, and start again, then you have no chance of making it a comeback. If that dream that was in your heart is, if that dream was in your heart, it was in your heart, came from a longing for more good in your life, guess who put it there? The presence of God in you put it there. And you have a responsibility, I believe, to say yes to it and let it move through you as greatness. How many of you have not heard Edwene Gaines? Heard her in person? Okay, a number of you. Okay, so when Edwene Gaines, who is a really wonderful unity minister who teaches prosperity, and when she comes to speak, the first thing she says is, I am a woman of power and passion. Please stand. Let's do it together. And because her arms go, you can see she's a woman of power and passion. Let's do it together. I am a person of power and passion. Now put your hands here. Okay, let's say it from there. Here. I am a person of power and passion. Okay, sit down. So now what you've put in, subject of mind, the seed you have just planted, is a seed of success, a seed of power. It isn't a seed of victimhood. It isn't a seed of maybe it can happen. It's a seed that is a God seed. So, whatever's going on, you know, we've been, since our move, our center's attendance has been so different from what it was in the old center. And this is the moment I'm seeing it as a setup for a comeback. I'm not seeing it as a setback any longer. So I'm inviting you today. If you like what you're hearing this morning, if you like the ideas of the science of mind and want to know more, please invite your friends. Come with people that you love, and you know that they will love this. I am so grateful for you choosing to be here this morning. I know that your life is already blessed for it, and we are blessed for it, and so it is. Thank you. I so appreciate that, and now we'll let the band all come back. Michael Garamoni.
Wake up from your dreaming and you don't want to face the day. And you can't find a reason to think your world will ever change. You can hide beneath the covers, or you can run outside, head up high, and carry on. Life is a roller coaster ride. Time turns her wheel and love collides. Faith is believing you can close your eyes and touch the sky. So shine while you have the... Brings you up slowly, then shoots you like a rocket toward the ground. It twists you and it shakes you before it turns you upside down. You can't see what's around the corner, but you can't sit back, so just live it up and feel the rush. Life is a roller coaster ride. Time turns her wheel and love collides. Faith is believing you can close your eyes and touch the sky. So shine while you have the chance to shine. Laugh even when you want to cry. Hold on tight to what you feel inside. And ride, 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 yeah. Oh, yeah. Shine while you have the chance to shine. Laugh even when you want to cry. Hold on tight to what you feel inside. And ride, 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 yeah. Ride.
Thank you, Michael. That was wonderful. Is anyone visiting us for the first time today? If so, if you'd raise your hand, we have a gift for you. Just keep it raised until the gift comes along to you. Here, let's acknowledge our visitors. Thanks for being here. Then if the stewards would please come forward, it's time for us to share our gifts, our tithes, our offerings, and for our visitors. Do not feel obligated in any way to participate in this. This is what we're doing, and we'll do it together gladly. But if you know the value of giving and you have to, then go ahead. I'm going to set consciousness really briefly, and then we'll read our prosperity affirmation together. This is what I know. I know the source of all supply is within us. It's in us, as us, and through us. And so when we give knowing that we're one with that source, one with that love, one with that power, one with that truth. I know that this is so, and I am so grateful. And we say together, my offering is my acceptance of God as the source of my supply and symbolizes my faith in the abundant flow of this supply.
Something is stirring, shifting ground. It's just begun. Edges are blurring all around, and yesterday is done. Feel the flow, hear what's happening, we're what's happening. Don't you know, we're the movers and we're the shapers. We're the names in tomorrow's papers. Up to us now to show 'em.
It's our time, breathe it in. Worlds to change and worlds to win. Our turn coming through. Me and you, now me and you. Feel how it quivers on the brink. Everything gives you the shivers, makes you think. there's so much more to sing. You and me will be singing it like the birds. Me with music and you the words. Tell them things they don't know. Up to us now to show up. Our time, breathe it in. Worlds to change and worlds to win. Our turn, we're what's new. Me and you, now me and you. Feel the flow, hear what's happening. We're what's happening. Long ago, all we had was that funny feeling, saying someday we'd send them reeling. Now it looks like we can. Someday just began. It's our heads on the block. Give us room and start the clock. Our time coming through. Me and you, now me and you. Me and you, me and you. Me and you, me and you.
Thank you, Diane. Thank you, Michael. If the stewards would please come back. We're going to receive these gifts, tithes, and offerings. So let your hands reflect energy. You can send it, but just feel it. And repeat after me. On behalf of my beloved center, I receive these gifts, knowing they bless everything they touch, and return to every giver, multiplied, pressed down, and spilling over. And so it is. Thank you. And Tony Sparks has something that she wants to say.
The Animal Kinship Ministry would like to take a moment to honor our mascot, Molly Walker, who made her transition last week. Knowing that we are all eternal beings, we know that Molly is experiencing new adventures in her spiritual life, going from glory to greater glory. As our mascot for several years, Molly and Don Walker joyfully and full-heartedly participated in all our events and truly made a difference. Because our animals are our teachers, Molly taught unconditional love and showed us how to live fully in the moment, in each moment of now. She did a great job on Earth. Just take a look at Don Walker. Thank you.
We have so many wonderful things to talk to you about. But first of all, these lovely flowers are from my brother and I to celebrate and honor my mom, June Dixon, who's her 90th birthday. Woohoo! I want to be like her when I grow up. Okay. And this Wednesday, Reverend Karen and Reverend Patty are doing a combined talk, and it's, where am I? It is The Art of Living, the Wisdom of the Tao. So you don't want to miss this, 7 o'clock this Wednesday night. And then the following week is July 2nd, and we're having a summer potluck here at 5:45, and then a fabulous evening of Wade Wooldridge and his friends singing the history of America through music. So it's going to be a wonderful musical event. So I'd love to see you there.
And on July 2nd, we also have a blood drive, which is Wednesday, July 2nd, from 10 a.m. to 4:15 p.m. in the multi-purpose room. And our suites here upstairs still have vacancies now. And if you know of anyone who is looking for a professional office to lease, please contact Claudia Nelson and Ruth Trimble. And their numbers are in the insert.
A memorial service will be held for our friend John LaMontagne next Saturday, the 28th of June at 10 a.m. at the Pacific View Memorial Park in Corona del Mar. A military funeral honors will be held after that service. And then at 2 o'clock, they did, for the celebration? Oh, okay, so it won't be at 2. At noon, right after the other service, they're having a celebration of his life, a party. He wanted a party at the Balboa Yacht Club. Not the Bay Club, but the Yacht Club. So, and that's in Corona del Mar also. So if you plan to attend, your information for it is in your program. And it's 12 o'clock, not 2.
Prosperity Plus will begin today at 1 p.m., and there are no prerequisites for this 10-week class. There must be a minimum of 6 paid students, which I'm assuming we already have. Okay. And Dr. Heather and Reverend Michael will co-facilitate. And Prosperity Plus 2 begins Tuesday, June 24th, with Dr. Heather and Reverend Michael co-facilitating. And there is a $60 materials cost with this class. And sign up on the Prosperity Plus 2 clipboard. And you must have Prosperity Plus background.
Bring a dirty car to church next week. Next week there is the teens are giving a gift back to you and doing a wonderful car wash as their thank you to you for all your support throughout the year. So that's really a nice thing. And Reverend Patty wanted me to let you know that the middle school group next meeting will be July the 15th.
And one last thing, we have a photo walk tonight at 7 o'clock, and it will be at the pier. And just need to see Darren for details. And do remember to take home your insert.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, and we'll invite the children in.